Hey, good morning, everyone. I am Shara Prophet, the Mind Magic Coach. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody is having a great day so far. Um, so, you guys see the title of today's discussion, Red Flags and Boundaries. So, I made a post the other day discussing how I caught a red flag. And a red flag when with a person that I was kind of talking to a little bit, this guy that I was talking to a little bit. So I kind of wanted to just expand on that because I got some interesting comments, and you guys were pretty vocal about your thoughts, whether you agreed or not. So, the thing about red flags is that it is an opportunity for us to pay attention to our intuition. It's an opportunity for us to take heed to what those signals are and to really tap in. And the thing about it is that when we first meet a person, whether it's for dating, whether it's a new friend, a new client, anybody, a work buddy or whatever, somebody that you work with, it's very important to pay attention to what a person says and how they say it, okay? And for you to tap into your ability to read between the lines. Now, I'm not talking about, over analyzing something. I'm not talking about, looking at something from a hurt perspective. That's different. That's projecting, okay? Projecting is when you listen to a person and automatically all of your past wounds start leaking, and then you get these red hot signals that, oh my God, this person is going to do this and do that. That's different. But when you can pull from past experiences from a place of just knowing and information, and you're able to apply that, and you feel something in your gut or something in your body wherever you feel it, because everybody feels it differently in their body. People interpret information very differently. Some people have a thought, some people feel it in the body. Some people get premonitions, okay? Some people, just get a sense or a knowing that something's off or not right. But it's important that whatever you feel, that you tap into that on your own time, even if you're not able to do it right then and there on the spot with that person. You can go afterwards on your own time and tap in and ask questions. This is why it's so important to get into the habit of sitting with yourself and being with yourself, journaling, and asking yourself the right questions, okay? Because if there's power in asking the right questions. This is what makes me an effective coach, because when I'm working with people, I'm asking them the right questions, and little sparks are flying and the synapses start firing off in the brain. And some people are brought to a realization, so much so that it brings tears to their eyes, because it's a different perspective that they never thought about before. Okay, it's always been there. I'm not telling them something that they don't already know. It's just the certain line of questioning can really bring things to light, and this is the same for yourself. This is why it's very important to tap into that part of you and be able to have a conversation with yourself. It doesn't make you crazy, even if you answer back. Because I know I talk to myself all the time, because I am the smartest person I know when it comes to asking questions about myself and determining what's good for me in my life. Okay? I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I'm the smartest person when it comes to me. Nobody else knows me the way I know me. Okay? And it's the same for you. So when you get these little nudges, these little moments of, that's a little strange, why'd they say that? That is something for you to look at. And sometimes it may be something that you need to say, I don't know about this, I'm gonna leave this person alone. And sometimes it's just things that you just need to tuck under your hat and keep it as information. All right, some things is just information. So when it comes down to you know, meeting a new person and dating specifically, because see, the thing about it is, when we're dating, we're dating with the intention, right, to meet a person that could possibly be a mate, could possibly be a partner. Whether it's forever or whether it's just, for a small amount of time. But the thing is that if you have already gone through certain things, okay, in your life or in past relationships, those little red flags, guys, that you've seen before, you have evidence of it from dealing with it in the past, those little red flags are saying, oh, I don't need to experience this again. I've been through this already. Let me pay attention and take heed and kind of go home and look over the evidence and then see if there's something I need to proceed with, okay? Whether you need to do divination, whether you need to sit in meditation for a minute, because within the first meeting of a person, that first few hours of talking to a person at length is going to give you, Isis, get off of my altar, you know better than that. That's going to give you a lot of information. Sometimes it's going to give you all the information that you need, okay? So, like I said, I was, talking to this guy, very nice guy, really nice, accomplished guy. On paper, looks great, looks good, you know what I'm saying? Look good, body nice. I like men with nice bodies who take care of themselves and work out and eat healthy and stuff. So he's all of that, I like Adonis looking mugs, to be honest with you. I do. That's just what I've always attracted and what I always like. So, on paper, looks good. In the physical world, look good, dress nice. You know what I'm saying? Fly. Just my type. So, we're talking, and very nice person. Has a great heart, great soul, great spirit. But there were some things that were like bells going off as he was talking, and I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's got a lot of healing to do. Now, we all got healing to do, but we're all at different levels in our healing, right? So it's not a judgment. It's just when somebody is saying to you, man, I'm just tired of being single. I wish I had somebody right now, especially during this quarantine. That's a red flag, okay? You're not comfortable with being by yourself. If you're not comfortable with being with yourself, okay, that's the difference. It's different. It's a difference between being by yourself and being with yourself, okay? Being with yourself means that you are truly exploring you. You're truly enjoying your own company, all right? You don't need the company of somebody else because you really enjoy the company of yourself, right? And you can be with yourself, be present with yourself. Being by yourself has a different energy behind it. I'm just tired of being by myself, okay? That means that you aren't really giving yourself the time to be with yourself because you're by yourself. You're by your side. You're not inside. You're outside, okay? These are things, and I know this may seem like, damn, this girl is really overanalyzing stuff. But first of all, it's my job to do that, okay? I'm trained to listen that way, okay? I'm trained to use certain words and listen to certain keywords, all right? And then secondly, in the past, I would get those red flags and those bells going off, and I would still go ahead, and because they look good, because I like them, because we got chemistry, and you know what I'm saying, and we talking a good thing, I would keep moving with the situation, and eventually down the line, all of the red flags that showed up in that first conversation start playing out in the physical world, okay? And then I'm reminded of, oh shit, I knew this was going to happen. He told me, he told me in the beginning that he was unhappy, that he didn't trust, that he was, a little hurt and still healing from some stuff. Okay. That there's pains in his family that he hasn't, fully healed or released or forgiven. Okay. And granted, he's working on it. He did tell me that he's working on those on certain things. However, you can tell when a person it gets really amped up when they're talking about something, that they still have attachment to the issue that took place, right? So there were some family issues that he discussed, that got him all amped up in our first meeting. He spent an hour talking about it. He spent an hour telling me about the shit, right? So I was just sitting there, I did not put my therapist hat on because I refuse to be a therapist to a man that's courting me. Okay, I will not do that. Doesn't mean that I may not say, well, hey, you may want to try this or whatever, but I'm not going to sit there and, go back and forth and ask you a ton of questions and all of that. I'm not doing that. So I'm just sitting there listening, and the whole time I'm like, yeah, no, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Because all of the evidence that I needed showed up right then and there. And then after that meeting, after we met face to face, we have great conversations. It's just it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, the conversations are great. He's a great guy. He's got a good heart. He's accomplished. He done been through some stuff, However, the things that matter most to me, okay, is that a person is healed and also knows how to heal themselves. Okay, so it doesn't mean that they got to be perfect, but it does mean that they have already tapped into some process that they use to heal themselves. What does that mean? Okay. So you don't have to be a therapist to heal yourself. You don't have to be a coach to heal yourself, okay? But if you know that it is time to work on something, okay, and you become aware of that, you must begin the process of working on it, okay? Whether that is, writing it down, journaling, seeing your therapist, your hypnotherapist, if you have a coach or a spiritualist that you work with, whatever your process is, okay? If you give yourself, 40 days of fasting when you just go on, purge everything and focus on letting things go. If you use creative visualization, if you, there's a certain book that you have to go to read and you get information from that. There is a process that each of us, either we've developed it or we need to learn what that process is to heal certain parts when they come up. But if you have not done that, okay, or you meet a person who clearly has healing to do, right? But they have not begun the process. They haven't found the way to do that yet. For me, that's a red flag. Okay, it doesn't mean that this person has to be fully perfect. It just means that if something comes up, that person needs to be able to have their own process. Okay. The other red flag, y'all, is the fact that this guy told me all of this with the few short couple of weeks that we started communicating with each other. Okay. Now, for me, spiritually, that's my team looking out for me. Okay, my team is like, making him speak these words so that it's something that I'm, aware of, and I get to choose what I want to do with that. And that doesn't mean just because they let it happen or it happens that I'm gonna be like, I can choose to be like, oh, whatever, I still like him and I'm gonna just see what happens, right? I can still choose to do that. But for me, I know there's certain things that I am looking for when I'm dating, when I'm working, when I meet somebody. It's certain things that it's not just about the flash and the clothes and the money and how fly you are and what you do and how you look. Yeah, I love that shit. I love it. That's me all the way. I'm a DC girl. I'm a DC chick. I'm fly shit. You know what I'm saying? I love materialistic things. I like labels. I like travel. I like excellent food. I'm Taurus. You know what I mean? I love all of that. It's how I was raised, y'all. I grew up in DC in the 80s where it was all about flash, all about money, the drug culture. I grew up in that. I was a part of that, okay? The guys that I dated was a part of that, So that part is still in me. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's just now I have a different perspective. Okay, it's not just about that, because I do understand that when a person has to do a lot of that, okay, that they're overcompensating. They're trying to cover up something else that's going on underneath. Okay, they may not have fully looked. Not everybody. Not everybody. I'm not saying that every person that's flashy and fly is covering up something, but 9 times out of 10, if you dig a little deeper, if you pay attention, you'll see, this is they got to do this to make themselves feel a certain kind of way. Okay, because something else is not whole yet, something else is not healed yet. That's not a judgment. I've been there, and trust me, there's things that I'm still healing as well. I'm not perfect just because of what I do. Absolutely no. There's things I gotta get over and move through. But the point is that I'm doing it. I have a process. I have a team, a spirit team, and I also have a physical team on this planet that walk in the flesh that assists me with that. Okay, so when that comes up, right, that's my spirit team saying, all right, this look good, but listen to this. Pull the rug up and peek underneath it and see what's going on here. Okay, is this something that you want to deal with? You've done this before. Do you want to do this again? All right, that's what a red flag is. Now, some people, I'm going to just be honest, some of the comments that I saw, it told me that a lot of us are, we got bleeding hearts. We're a little too loving, a little too spiritual. We're not too spiritual. What I want to say is we're a little too airy-fairy with our spirituality. Okay? Now, it's not your job to be the hospital for a person. Somebody told me, one of my guy friends, he was just like, well, maybe you the person to heal him. I said, absolutely not. That is never, ever, 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 ever something that I am willing to do unless I'm being paid for it. And even then, if you pay me, I'm not healing you. You're healing yourself, right? You're doing the healing. All I am doing is asking the right questions, sharing some tools with you that I know work, okay, that's been proven over and over and over and over and over again in my life and in my clients' lives. And it's up to you to use them, and it's up to you to do your homework and your own work, your home work and your own work, okay? So we have to get over the idea that it's our job to help people. Okay. And I know that sounds counterintuitive to what we have learned and to what we stand on as a nation in America. We're all about raising each other up. And yes, you can raise people up, but you helping someone, to me is a one-time thing. Oh yeah, I'll help you with that. Okay. To me, it's like a one-shot deal. I'm gonna help you with this project, and then after that, you on your own. Okay. But to educate a person is different. I educate people. If you come to me for a session, you're going to leave knowing something that you did not know before. Okay? And that to me means more than me helping you with a problem. If you show a person how to feed themselves, how to grow their own food and feed themselves, then you don't have to keep dropping groceries off at their house every time they run low on money. Okay? It's the same situation with healing and being a presence in a person's life to help them really shift and change. Now, I am not willing to do that for somebody that I'm supposed to be in a relationship with. I'm not going to do that. That is an inside job. That's a personal experience. And part of that personal experience is seeking out the help of a professional, okay, who can guide you through that process. You never need to put that off on a friend or a family member or a spouse. You don't put that pressure on anybody to make you happy, to heal you, okay? You don't put that on someone else. Now, it's different if we're just venting and we just talking and you sharing with me. I'm always there for my friends in that capacity because I love my friends. But guess what? If I need to vent, I can do the same thing with them. And they're not trying to save me. They're not trying to heal me. They're not trying to give me advice necessarily. They're just an ear there to hear. And after that, I got to make a decision on how I want to move forward with releasing the energy around that situation. I've got to figure out, okay, what's the best way for me to heal this now and move forward. But that is never another person's job, okay, to do that for you. We cannot put that on each other. I'm not a hospital. You're not a hospital. We have to draw boundaries with family, with friends, with lovers. Okay, we have to draw boundaries, healthy boundaries. There's certain things that you just don't need to get involved in. Okay, somebody tells you what they're going through. You can listen. You know what? I'm going to hold the highest for you. Whatever you need me to hold for you, energetically, I can hold that space for you. Okay? But other than that, they have to decide what they're going to do for themselves. Okay? So boundaries are very important, and boundaries will help you know how far you're willing to go with a person. If you know you've reached your limit, that you're at the edge of your boundary with this person, then you know you probably need to step all the way out of that situation. You need to probably leave them alone and let them figure it out for themselves. But you come first, always. Don't ignore your gut. Don't ignore that nudge, that knowing, that voice inside of you. Don't ignore that. Because when we ignore that, what we're doing is we're telling the highest part of ourselves, I don't trust you. I don't trust myself. Even though I'm getting this feeling like something's not right here, I'm going to just go ahead and deal with it because you know what? He's nice. He's in a lot of pain. I can't just leave him like this. You know what I'm saying? He needs somebody right now. I'm not going to judge him because he's been through certain things. That's not his fault. He's a good person. He deserves love. Why do you have to be the person that settles for that? Why do you have to do that? You don't have to. And it doesn't matter how nice, how kind, how good a person is, how good they look, how much money they got. Listen, that's one person. And it's probably about 1,000,000 like that person. Nobody is exactly the same. But if you like that type, it's a 1,000,000 other guys out there that look like that are like that are available too. It really is. Contrary to what we hear women say in general, that it ain't enough men, the good men gone, where they at? They don't live here, they ain't here, they ain't in this part of town, they ain't in this country, they ain't in this state. I used to say that, like, they not in LA. You know what I'm saying? But yet I see people walking around coupled up all the time, right? So they must be here. And they must exist. And if one of them doesn't fit the bill, then the next one will. We have, especially as women and men too. I'm gonna say men too, because I know some men that move from a place of desperation because they feel like it's not that many to choose from. It's not that much out here there's not many women that are like you. You know how many guys I have talked to that say, man, I don't know, there's not a lot of women like you out here. I mean, I've dated a lot of women and they're not like you. And I'm like, well, what kind of women you dating? You know what I'm saying? And I know a ton of women that are like me. And when I say like me, not exactly like me, but we like-minded, successful, beautiful, sexy, spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Fiery, fun, fly shit. Got great professions. You know what I mean? I know a lot of beautiful, excellent women like me. So I would ask a guy like that. And for me, that's a red flag. All these women that's out here like this, and I'm the only one that you know, who have you been dating before? And if you could see that they didn't have all of the qualities that you desired or that you wanted, why would you continue going down that road? And listen, I know some of us have lessons that we need to learn. That's the reason why you got to be in certain relationships, because a relationship will reflect back to you the parts of you that need to be healed. Okay? It will reflect back to you your patterns. And you get to decide whether or not you want to change that pattern or if you want to heal it. Rochelle said, I'm a nurse and guys always want medical advice or for me to care for them when they are ill or something like that. Yes. Oh God, girl, listen. I I am so hesitant sometimes to tell people what I do, to tell men what I do. It was a one guy that I was talking to not that long ago, and he found out what I did. You know, we were like at a party and we were all talking and things like that, and his friend was asking me about his son, like, hey, can you help me with my kid? And I'm like, sure, you know, let me know, hit me up or whatever. And then he was just kind of quiet. And then we exchanged numbers, the other guy, we exchanged numbers and we started talking. And I swear, as soon as we started talking, this guy went in about, you know, how his 2-year-old son is this and he's raising him by himself and his mother is this and what can he do? And I just stopped texting. I just stopped text. I did not answer anymore. And, you know, he got it. He got the point. He got the picture very clearly, you know. But the thing is that you just got to shut it down. So I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. And I'll tell people I'm a teacher. I tell men I'm a teacher. And then when we start to get to know each other a little bit more and, you know, we kind of open up a little bit more and then I'll let them know what I do for real, you know. But even then I'm only giving like little pieces, you know, like, yeah, I'm a hypnotherapist. And I just leave it at that, you know, because people want free help. They do. And this, listen, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm not saying that people want free help, so you better watch yourself. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's boundaries, okay? And as people who work in the healing arts, right, we're going to attract people who are healing or who need healing. We're just going to do that. That's why we do what we do, right? I want to attract people who want to be healed. Otherwise, I would go out of business and I wouldn't be able to pay bills. So I want to attract people who are healing and who are looking for tools and resources to help them heal themselves. Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that I'm only going to attract clients. I'm also going to attract, you know, guys who I'm dating who are in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? Because of the energy that we put out there, the energy that we have is, hey, I know something that can help you. And whether we're saying that out loud or whether they know it consciously or not, our energy enters the room before anything else, right? Our energy enters the conversation before anything else. Our energy enters the world before anything else. So people can feel you from miles and miles away, thousands of miles away, right? I have clients that live all the way in Switzerland and England, right? My energy supersedes me. So they found me some kind of way. So of course we're going to attract those types of guys, you know, but you know, it does get a little irritating for sure. It gets a little irritating when you're dating and that's like, you're like, oh, here go another one, here go another one, here go another one. And I remember one time I got so upset with my team, with my spirit team. And I was like, I'm tired of dating all these niggas that need healing. I don't want to date them no more. I'm tired of it. It's like, you know. And what I heard was, honey, everybody needs healing. That's why you're still in this body, because you still need to heal some things, right? I don't care what it is. And everything doesn't have to, you know, healing is not always this big deal. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not always a big deal. Sometimes you cut yourself while you was cutting up vegetables and you need to heal. Hello? That's healing. But we're always going to need healing. So, you know, that's what they said to me. Everybody needs healing. You're not going to meet one person on this planet who don't need some healing. Okay? Now you get to choose how you show up in that person's life that's where the boundaries come in and paying attention to the red flags, right? You get to choose that. So listen, it doesn't mean that because this guy needs healing, that's the reason why I decided that it wasn't going to be a good match and I need to kind of just separate myself and cut it off, right? That's not what it was. because he's so fresh and early in his process of healing, right? He hasn't even tapped into a process yet. Okay. He's still trying to figure it out, so much so that he's vocal about what he's going through with a person that he just met. That's like a fresh wound. That's a big gaping wound that's bleeding all over the place. Another red flag that he said to me was that the last relationship he was in, he just felt that he was about to just go off sometimes on the girl, and he had to just make himself sit down somewhere and be quiet. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. Like, I got a real fiery mouth. You know what I'm saying? So you might want to reconsider that type of thing. I am very, very strong. I have a very strong personality. I got a very fiery mouth sometimes, okay? Not disrespectful. And I don't even raise my voice like that. But sometimes I can say some stuff that'll really twist a person's balls in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? So if you are the type of person that's ready to go off and you you fight too, you a boxer too, like I don't think so. You know what I'm saying? So those types of things are the reason why I was just like, yeah, no, those are the red flags for me. And I have my boundaries, right? My boundary is no, I need to be with somebody who has a process, who has control over their emotions, control over their actions enough to not have to dump all of that on me that early on in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, at least wait until we've been talking to each other for a few months. This is the first meet, and you dumping like this? Wow. You know what I mean? Deep stuff, like deep dump, not just not just surfacey stuff. Okay, so I'm saying this to say that people show themselves to us very, very early, very early. I know people who have been in relationships for years, and they're just like, well, all of a sudden he just started changing. I'm like, but didn't he do that before y'all was together? Because I knew that he was doing that. You know what I mean? He didn't just start doing that. You chose to ignore it because you were so enamored, enchanted by this person's energy. You know what I'm saying? It was fresh. It was new. It was fun. He was fly. He was flashy. He was this. You know what I mean? And he was doing this show, or he was, dealing with these types of people, does this in business or whatever. That is what you were attracted to. So you chose to ignore the red flags and dip your head in the sand. And trust me, I have done that before, dip my head in the sand and act like I don't see. And then when you're finally ready to pull your head up out of the sand and you start seeing, then all of a sudden that person changed. No, that person did not change. They have always been that way. Okay? Now you pulled your head up for air and you took a glance around and the rose-colored glasses are off, and now you're finally paying attention to what has been there the whole time. We have to pay attention. You got to pay attention. And you need to know yourself so well that you know this is not something I'm going to be dealing with. And this is the other thing. Because I know people who will just deal with a person because, well, I'm so busy right now. I don't really have time to meet nobody else, and this person will do for now, but I know it's not going to last. No. Energy is everything. Energy is everything. And when we think about the law of attraction, right? What you put out is what you're trying to get back in. Is what you're getting back in. So you're telling your subconscious mind, which to me personally represents the universe, okay? I'm not saying it's the full universe. I'm just saying it represents the universe, which is why once we change things in the subconscious mind, what we've been trying to desire, what we've been trying to manifest, is final. That energy is finally, or that vibration is finally matched universally once we change it in our own universe, right? And then we start to see it in the physical form, right? So think about this. If you are wanting to attract a certain person or a certain energy in your life, right? But then this other person comes along and they pretty much got everything else that you want, but there's a few little things that you just like, nah, this ain't gonna work. But you're still vibrating from the energy of this isn't gonna work, but you're still putting your time and your energy and your attention into it instead of reserving your energy and or preserving your energy to put it into the focus on what you really, really want. So what's going to happen is you're going to keep attracting those people who got a little bit of what you want, but not really. And then you're spending time with that person. Okay. When you spend time with something, y'all, where your energy, where attention goes, energy flows. That's what you're going to keep manifesting. That's what you're going to keep seeing evidence of. So don't just date somebody because it's quarantine time. Don't just be on the phone with somebody because it's something to do and it's quarantine time. No. You're going against what you want. You're telling the universe, this is okay for me. Bring me more of this. But there's still a program running there, y'all. There is a program, a pattern running inside of me, right, that I'm breaking by saying, no, I see the red flags. I ain't doing this no more, right? But there's a pattern still running in my subconscious mind that needs to be broken, okay? There needs to be a pattern interrupt for me to clear out the gunk and the muck of and the energy that is still there that attracted this person in the first place, right? So if I continue down the road of dealing with this with this guy, even though I've already seen the red flags that represent that which I don't want to experience, right? I am playing into the pattern that's already there, okay? That energy of that pattern is being shot into the universe, okay? It's matching my frequency, and I'm going to have more evidence of what I don't want to see show up as under the guise of what I'm trying to manifest. Does that make sense to y'all? Does that make sense? This is why it's important when we talk about manifesting money, right? We talk about not focusing on lack. If you focus on lack, lack attracts lack. Like attracts like, right? So if I want to attract the opposite of lack, then I need to change my mindset. And what a mindset is a pattern, okay? It's a pattern that is a pathway that has been formed in the brain that sends a stream of information, a flow of consciousness that says, this is what we do, this is what we are, this is what happens to us all the time, okay? If you don't like that stream of consciousness, if you don't like that pattern, that flow happening through that pattern, you have to interrupt the flow, which is what we call a pattern interrupt. I'm giving you guys some very, very, very deep and expensive information right now, okay? We have to do a pattern interrupt, right? To deflect that and start to dig a new pathway, okay? Dig a new neural pathway in the brain and start sending a different signal for what it is we want. We got to cut one off and create a new one, okay? It's the same thing when you're dealing with relationships. It's the same exact thing. It's all the way across the board, all right? Law of attraction is not just for money. It is for, and this is deeper than law of attraction. I'm just saying law of attraction because everybody knows that specific universal law. This is deeper than that. This is you digging into the deepest parts of yourself and performing mental alchemy, okay? Mental and emotional alchemy. That's what we're doing here. So when this guy came along, right, and he started talking, it was the evidence showing up to me that this person is matching the energy that's still flowing through that pattern in me, okay? He's matching that. And so this is an opportunity for me to interrupt the pattern, to stop the flow, okay, to pull up the resistance, right, and block that current, block that flow from continuing, so that now I can say, no, that's not what I want. I'm not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore. And begin to create and dig a new pathway a neural pathway to send a different signal through there. Okay. So that is what I am doing, right? Oh, you're welcome, Rochelle. Thank you for listening. So that's what I'm doing right now. That's the reason why it's important for us to understand red flags and to draw your boundaries. So before you can even respond to a red flag and say, yeah, this is not work, this ain't for me, you got to know who you are. You got to know who you are, and you have to understand what your patterns are. Okay? And the only way you're going to understand that is by what? Somebody say it for me, because I say it all the time. Somebody type it in if you already know what I'm going to say. The only way to know yourself fully and understand your patterns is by doing what? Somebody tell me what you got to do. Not scream like my neighbors are doing. Okay. You have to sit with yourself, y'all. You got to be with yourself. You need to. That's the only way you're going to know who you truly are, is by going within. Thank you, Doris. Yes. Sitting with yourself, going within, looking at all the shadows, all the demons, bringing those dragons out and talking to them and saying, what is this? What is it? What reveal to me? What do I need to change? Do you know every single day part of my self-work is a part of my routine, I should say, is please reveal to me that which needs to be released. Every day I wake up. I use M. Rain's Reveal All Oil. I need to order some more actually because I'm almost out. I use that a lot. A lot. Please reveal to me that which needs to be released. Okay? That's right, Gloria. Meditate. And listen, something always comes up, and it's not always deep, heavy stuff. That's what I'm saying. It's not always super heavy things. You know what I mean? It may just mean I need to change the way I think about this particular thing in my business or in my health regimen, or, why don't you, change the direction of the way that chair is sitting in your living room? Why don't you go ahead and mop the floor today? You know what I'm saying? Go for a walk, and when you go for a walk, instead of going the way you usually go down this street. You know what I mean? So that, and even doing little tiny changes and shifts like that can really shift some stuff for you, like make momentum shifts in your life, okay, underneath the surface. So that is what I'm talking about. The only way you're going to know how to draw a boundary is knowing already what does not work for you. You got to know what doesn't work before you can know what does work. Okay, you have to know that. And you have to get to a place where you are really ready to have a new experience. And sometimes having a new experience means delaying certain things. Instant gratification will stunt your growth. If you always just need it now, you're going to do a lot of things out of desperation to get now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would love to be in a relationship. But you know what? I'm not desperate for one, because I have seen what being desperate for a relationship can do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would love to be with a man who doesn't have to take care of me, but he can. You know what I'm saying? Because I can take care of myself, but he can take care of me. But does that mean that the next rich dude that walks up on me, does that mean that I'm about to just give it all away and just be with him? No, because I still have boundaries. There's still some things that do not work for me. And I don't care how much money you got, how fine you are, how accomplished you are. I don't care who you are. If there's certain things that come up and it's crossing my boundaries, and I have to compromise who I am and what I do, and I got to compromise how I feel about certain things, that puts me in a, not necessarily an uncomfortable position, because I'm not afraid to be uncomfortable, but if it really does go against everything in my soul, right? It goes against everything that I want to experience, and I already know that it can potentially bring a lot of unnecessary drama. Why would I do that to myself? Just for the experience? Just because I'm desperate? Just because it's quarantine and I need a man and I want somebody to take care of me and pay these bills? No. We don't do that. That's operating from desperation. That's operating from fear. And if you've been doing that, you need to ask yourself why. Okay? If you find that you attract people who are always needing something from you, you need to ask yourself why that is. Who have you been to the people in your life all this time? Right? Who were you as a kid? Were you healing your parents when you were a child? Because I know I was. Most of us in our I was talking to Natasha yesterday, and she said something so powerful. Like, the kids that's coming in now are not here to heal their parents. That's our generation did that. I was like, whoa, you ain't saying nothing but a word. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what we did. The generation, my generation, right? I'm 40. I'll be 41 this year. So my generation, we was the ones healing our parents pretty much. Okay? But because of that, that's that energy that's still running through the neural pathway in my brain. And so and energy attracts energy, I'm attracting people who need healing. That is what I do. However, I know this about myself because I have sat with myself for many years and I have decoded and cracked the code of myself, right? And just because you crack the code don't mean that you're going to all of a sudden everything's just going to miraculously change. No, then you have to get in alignment with the new energy that you want to experience. The new experience, right? You got to get in alignment with that. So yeah, I've cracked the code and I know what I don't want, and I know what I have a tendency to attract to me, but now I got to get in alignment with the stuff that I want. The people that I want, the energy, the man that I want, the energy of the man that I want. I have to get in alignment with that. Okay? And part of getting in alignment with something is cutting off the old stuff that you still tend to attract. Pattern interruption. You get it? Share this video, y'all. This is something that a lot of people need to hear. I want everybody who's listening to please share this video. Okay? Because this is important. This is the reason why a lot of people are walking around dealing with toxic cycles. Okay? This is why a lot of people are constantly self-sabotaging because they don't know how to do the pattern interruption. And there's so many ways you can do it. Okay? And you get to choose who you want to teach you how to do that. It's a lot of us out here. It's a lot of practitioners. It's a lot of spiritual teachers and, people who deal with the mind out here who can teach you how to do it. I'm one of them. But you don't have to work with me. You can work with whoever you want to. I'm just saying, you got to learn how to do it. I had to learn. I went to school and I paid $20,000 to learn how to do this. Okay? On top of life experience, which is why I charge what I charge. And I continue, and it's not just, I just paid that for the year, but it's more than that. Because every year, in order for me to maintain my instruction certification to teach other hypnotherapists, every year I have to take new classes. Okay, this is why I'm constantly in class. I'm constantly learning. Okay, this is why I keep my mentors around. Okay, I'm always learning because I don't know everything. And sometimes I'm learning something that I already know, but somebody has put a different twist on it. And I'm like, oh, you do it like that? I'm going to try it like that. I like that. Okay, that works for me. Okay? So just because you already know something doesn't mean you can't relearn it, because everybody has a different style of teaching something. And I might be saying the same thing that another person that you heard talk yesterday said, but I'm going to say it in a different way. I'm bringing my own experience to it because we're not the same. We might be talking about the same thing. We can even come from similar backgrounds, but we are not the same, right? So I ask you to share this because people need this information. All right. And what I'm giving you guys right now, this is something that I have paid thousands of dollars for and that other people pay me money for to listen to me, help them with this, or come to me with one-on-one sessions or go through one of my programs. Okay. But this is stuff that people need to understand. So, the next time you're feeling like you owe somebody something and you're trying to see past the red flag and it's going against your boundary, you need to ask yourself, why do I feel compelled to continue down this road even though it does not match what I want to experience? It doesn't match what I want to experience. Even though I might have attracted it because of the residual energy that's running through my pattern, even though I might have attracted it that way. I want to have a different experience. So I need to change my pattern. And if you don't know how to change your pattern, like I said, there's a lot of us out there that help you do that. I use hypnosis because to me, regardless of the other modalities and the other things that I do, to me, it is the most powerful because you're tapping directly into the subconscious mind. You're unlocking the chambers within the subconscious mind. You're clearing out that old energy that's attached to the pattern. You're interrupting the pattern with a new pattern, a new frequency. And you have to do it over and over and over again because repetition is important, okay? So for me, that's what works. For my clients, that's what works. But I do other things too. I burn candles because for me, the candles keep the energy going even when I'm not actively focused on it, even when I'm not actively sitting in meditation or actively in a trance state doing the mental work or the energetic work. The candle is still going, so it holds that energy for me. However, when the candle goes out, I find that doing something like hypnosis on a regular basis eventually leads me to the point where I don't need a candle anymore because I'm working with the real source, which is my subconscious mind. Make sense? Okay, y'all. So on May 15th, I'm going to be doing a class on breath work. All right. I'm going to be sharing 3 different breathing techniques. Of course, it's all going to be anchored in a hypnotic journey. And I'm going to probably post about that on Monday. So I'm currently doing the Be Magic class. But it is not too late for you to sign up, okay? And Be Magic is an 8-week course that helps you tap into your personal goal, okay, that you want to pursue right now. And it doesn't mean that you can't focus on other goals, but you're going to focus on one particular goal, and we're going to break through any resistance, any patterns, any self-sabotaging beliefs and thoughts. In that 8 weeks, you're going to learn tools and techniques to help you do that, okay? I go deeper into the mind. I go deeper into talking about the subconscious, using energy, alchemy. We talk about the principles of Hermeticism, okay? So you definitely want to check that out. You can still sign up for it for $222.75 for you can pay monthly on that for the year. So once you enroll in Be Magic, you're automatically enrolled into the Healing and Transformation classes, which are the classes that I do monthly. So you get those for free if you are a Be Magic participant. So for example, the Breathing with Intentions class, you're going to get that for free if you're a Be Magic participant, okay? So that is one of the perks for signing up. And you're also going to get access to the ebook, which is almost done. I'm plugging in all of the hypnosis into the book is finished. I'm just plugging in the hypnosis scripts because I've now designed the program for not just individuals but also practitioners. So if you're a therapist, a hypnotherapist, if you do energy work, if you're a doula, if you want to start kind of learning how to do hypnosis, I still recommend that if you want to market yourself as a hypnotherapist, that you do need to go through an extensive training process. I went to school for a year, really more than that, because I did my NLP training, my therapeutic imagery, my past life regression training. So if you add all of that up, that's really like 2 years worth of school, right? But I highly recommend being certified as a hypnotherapist before you start marketing yourself as a hypnotherapist. One, so you don't get sued and get in trouble. Two, so that you really just, if you're going to do this as a profession, you should really want to put your best foot forward and get that in-depth training, okay? However, Be Magic does provide you with hypnosis scripts that you can use with your clients, okay? And the way that they are written for both suggestibilities, because I know how to write that, right? It's an art form to writing hypnosis. I don't just say words. It's an art form, okay? And you must understand language and you must understand suggestibility to do that. So you'll learn how to do that. It does come with recordings as well if you're in the program. The book itself will be on sale as an ebook and as a physical book, okay? This is how it's going to work. If you are a Be Magic participant and you're working one-on-one with me live in the Zoom class, you're getting that one-on-one time with me and you're also in the class with other people. Then if you want to have a one-on-one coaching session with me, like for an hour, you pay separate for that, okay? If you need your one-on-one 15-minute phone call for the week, we can set that up. That is included in the program, all right? You get access to the ebook as a Be Magic participant in the coaching program for the 8 weeks, okay? The ebook is yours for free. It's included in the price, okay? In the ebook are the hypnotic scripts as well as the links to where you can listen to the hypnosis and download it, okay? Now, if you decide to do a self-study, which is what is going to be created after I'm done with this 8-week program, the self-study program will be available for a lesser price. You'll have the access to the videos. You'll have access to the hypnotic scripts. Okay, you'll have access to the hypnosis. You won't have access to my one-on-one coaching, but you're still free to schedule a one-on-one session with me separate. Okay. If you get the physical copy of the book, all right, there will be hypnotic scripts in the book, but you will not have access to the hypnosis links, okay? You'll just have access to the book. Make sense? All right? And all 3 of those will have different prices, okay? So I hope that makes sense to you guys. It will be spelled out on the website once I'm done plugging in all of the hypnosis into the book. But I look forward to seeing you guys in class. If you have questions, you can always email me, Shara at Open Door Hypnosis. You can also set up a free consultation on my website. You just go to opendoorhypnosis.com and click on book a free phone consultation, and we can chat about the ways that hypnosis can help you, or if you have more questions about Be Magic or whatever. And what else? That's it for right now. I do have 3 more hypnosis sigil candles left, and I am at this point finding new sources for my herbs, because I use a lot of herbs in my tea. I can make more candles, but the herbs for my tea, the place where I get them from, they're not even accepting orders right now. So the tea may have to wait for a little bit. I am going to reach out to a couple of other sources to see if they have everything I need, and I may just find another supplier. So, but because of the coronavirus, a lot of stuff is slowing down right now, but I will still continue to make the candles. So, I have 3 of those left. So if you guys want to place your orders, go to opendoorhypnosis.com/store and click on spiritual products to order just the candle. Okay. Only the candle that comes with the hypnosis MP3 link that you can download. But the limited edition kits, I'm waiting for new herbs to come in. I'm looking for a supplier actively now, so I'll let you guys know when that is done. All right. Love you guys so much. Please share this video. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you can go to Open Door Hypnosis TV and subscribe there. Also, if you want to join the Facebook group, it's Hypnosis is Key. All right, guys, I love you so much. Thanks for your time and your energy. Have a wonderful Saturday. And take great care of yourselves. And remember that you and only you are the key to a new you. Share this video, please. Love you. Bye. Thank you, Doris. Hey, Ty. Hey, y'all. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. Bye, y'all.